And we are back. Pokemon Platinum, Hardcore Nuzlocke. We are only using Eeveelutions in this run. So for our encounters, the way it's going to work is it's going to be like a randomizer, but we can only catch an Eeveelution. So if I run into Route 201 and I run around and a Snorlax pops up and a Poochyena pops up, and a Vaporeon pops up, we can catch the Vaporeon. So basically, it's going to be like a monolock, but just Eevee. So any route or place that has an evolution, we can catch it. If I catch one Jolteon, I can't catch another one if that one goes down. So all of the normal rules, just everything with an Eevee slant to it. So our starter is going to go ahead and be an Eevee. However, we're going to see that that's not going to work given the first gym leader having rock type Pokemon. Because of that rock typing, an Eevee's not going to be able to solo, so it heavily relies on another evolution coming in. So we're going to see that play out. But honestly, the first 5 attempts really humble me and show me that this run is going to be a whole lot harder than I first thought it would be. So enough rambling. Let's see what happens. Alrighty, so right here in Orberg Gate, we are just running back and forth, and we are trying to see if an evolution is hiding in here. We see the Scizor, we see the Magnemite. Carly's doing work. We've got the Blood on the Clock Tower nickname theme once again here, and there's a Venonat, and see, we're just running around, and sometimes this takes me a really long time. We just want to make sure that there isn't one of the Eevees there, and this time we find the Flareon. So going into the first gym, we're going to have an Eevee and a Flareon against 3 rock type Pokemon. I think you're starting to see where this is going to go. Alrighty, we got our Pokemon leveled up to level 14 to match Roark's ace here. He's got 3 Pokemon. The Geodude comes down. We send out Adam with our Rock Smash. The Stealth Rock comes down, so no damage right now, but really good. We get the defense drop as well, but we have to tank a super effective Rock Throw, and we get a fadeaway Rock Smash on to the Geodude. That means we have Onix up next. We're going to get the Ember in there as well, but we really don't have much wiggle room. Maybe a Rock Throw misses, and that could kind of open the door. The Rock Smash comes down. We get a defense drop as well, but the Onix drops back with a super effective. Onix does not have a lot of damage, but he does get a fadeaway critical onto the Flareon. That only leaves the cute and cuddly little Carly, who doesn't have Rock Smash in her arsenal here as the Rock Throw comes down. So we are just throwing pitiful tackles across the battlefield. The Screech is here, the Rock Throw on top, and little Carly is doing her best as another Rock Throw rains down. We do clear the Onix, but that does leave the ace Cranidos here, and I don't believe there is any world where 7 HP on an Eevee is enough to take down a full HP Cranidos as we get a sand attack, hoping for the accuracy debuff. The Cranidos puts us down, and there goes attempt number 1. For our second attempt, we run into a Leafeon in the Orberg Gate, same place we got the Flareon last time, and this time we also started with Vaporeon instead of Eevee, just in case we don't get any good first encounters. That way we can still clear the first gym. For our Lake Verity first encounter, it ends up being the Ice-type Glaceon here. We secure it, and that means we have 3 Eeveelutions going into the first gym. All right, so this time we're much better prepared against Roark here, and we have Leafeon, who has a higher physical attack stat and upgrades to the Razor Leaf when you hit that level 15. So we're looking really good. It's just a nice clean two-shot on the Geodude. We get the Razor Leaf here, and now we should have no problems as Grass is super effective 4 times over on the Onix, and then it's still 2 times super effective against the Cranidos here. So Isaac drops back, cleanly one-shots the Onix, and now the Cranidos comes down, the ace, the cute little dino, and we get a fadeaway crit. Roark is absolutely deleted, and now we're going to make our way to Mars. Working with the same 3 Pokemon here against Galactic Mars, we've got the Glaceon, we got the Leafeon, and we have the Vaporeon here. So Zubat comes down, and we have Stab, Icy Wind against the Zubat, which is also super effective. Going to be doing really good. I really haven't used Leafeon or Glaceon too much in the past, so this is super exciting to be able to use both of them here. As we hit the level 17, the Per Ugly comes down. The Fake Out is here with a little crit as well. Oh my gosh, that's a crit right there. We get the Icy Wind across the board. The Big Kitty wants it all. The speed going on our side as we get a crit is beautiful. Another scratch comes down, and I am not willing to risk a crit once again, so we're going to pivot into Sullivan, the Vaporeon. The Big Kitty wants it all. We tank a scratch on the swap, no problem there. We get get one tail whip. We are playing this super, super safe. I don't think we wanted Mars to heal. I don't even know if Mars has a potion, but we are just setting up the Leafeon. Sullivan doing work here as he will tap out, holding on with 14 HP, passing the baton over to Isaac. Per Ugly coming down here. The Fan Attack is here. Just realizing now that all of our guys are level 16. Give me that level 17. Mars is defeated. All right, the second attempt continues here. We didn't find any more Eeveelutions in between the first and second gym, even after Mars there. But the Turtwig comes down, and we still have that Ice-type Glaceon here, which is a phenomenal matchup against Gardenia. You don't normally see Ice-types this early unless it's a randomizer, so this is very cool as well. The Cherim falls and never looks back, and that just leads the 1v1 versus Glaceon and Roserade here. We're going to have to tank the Magic Leaf up front in personal, but we drop back with the Icy Wind, and it just one-shots the Roserade. We don't even have to worry about it. Gardenia is gone, and that is 2 gym badges. That leads us to our fight against Commander Jupiter here. She has her Zubat opening the show here. The Icy Wing comes down, completely one-shots the Blind Bat out of the sky, leading to the Skuntank here, a very scary Pokemon up there with the Perugly this early in the run. The Night Slash comes down, does not crit. We get the Icy Wind, but we fail to land the second one. Another Night Slash comes down. We are flirting with criticals at this point. What do? We did get the speed debuff onto the Skunk, which is really big, as I think we'll be able to outspeed with everybody now. Sullivan tanks that Night Slash, not very well though, and we are definitely in crit range, or at least very close to it. So do we set up for Leafeon like we did last time, or do we Hail Mary the water guns? And we are going straight into the setup strategy with the Tail Whips. We're going to drop him down and get Leafeon in there. Skuntank is now -2 in defense and -1 in speed, so Leafeon is in prime position to land these neutral rock smashes or not very effective Razor Leafs with the high chance of crit. Both are optimal. You could go quick attack as well if you don't think you can outspeed, but I'm pretty sure we're faster than the Skunk. As we get the rock smash, we don't get the defense drop. The Citrus Berry comes in for reprieve. The poison hurts as well. We go all in for the fadeaway crit with the Razor Leaf, and it's exactly what happens. Isaac fades away once again. Commander Jupiter is defeated. Let's keep it going. This leads us to our fourth encounter here, or our fourth team member being the gifted Eevee from Bebe in Heart Home City. So no matter what happens, whether we get a lot of encounters or not a lot, we'll always get this signature one right here, right now. The only problem is this one's going to be leveled up higher than most of the ones you find in the wild. So a lot of the Eevees get a move at level 15. So if you're Umbreon, you get Pursuit. If you're Espeon, you get Confusion. If you're Leafeon, you get Razor Leaf and such as that. So getting a Pokemon at 20, which I do believe this Eevee is at, makes it really difficult to go against this Ghost-type gym, because if you want an Umbreon, you'll no longer be able to get Pursuit, which is super effective. So just a little wrinkle there as well. And we are now looking at the footage of the Fantina fight, where I end up wiping. She completely has her way with her Misdrevious, and I forgot to fix my OBS, so I just recorded a black screen for like 3 hours into the next run as well. However, I did notice before we started up that third attempt against Fantina. So the second attempt is gone, and oh man, is this run fun or what? All right, so we are officially on the third attempt. As you can see right there on the screen, we still have the Leafeon, we still have the Vaporeon, but we have swapped out the Glaceon for a Flareon, and we still upgraded that Eevee into the Umbreon. So we have the Jolteon here. Volt's doing work with the Thundershocks. We are trying to blitz down the Duskull here, and we fade away with a Thundershock. The burn goes away given our berry, so that was good foresight there as the Hypnosis clutches through the terrible accuracy, and Haunter is here to stay as a Shadow Claw comes down. It is stab and it's a crit. Haunter is known for its special attack. However, with a crit, it doesn't really matter as we get double crit by a Haunter. We absolutely get double crit. You're not a Gengar, but you're not a Ghastly, and Haunter takes it all. Vapor comes down. The Vaporeon is here. Shadow Claw, thankfully, no triple crit as we get Haunter into the Red Super Potion for reprieve. Fantina not wanting to lose her Ghost. Another Shadow Claw comes down. We dodge the crit. Haunter holding on with about 2 HP. Gets a crit on that one. The Oranberry bringing us back a little bit as the Ace Mismagius comes down, and we are in no position to win this with the Vaporeon, so we pivot out as a Magic Leaf is probably going to come down, and it does. Umbreon tanks that no problem given an immaculate special defense, but as I previously stated, we have no Pursuit on Umbreon since it doesn't learn it until level 15, and you get Eevee at 20. This is just a debacle. So unless you get an Umbreon in the wild prior to making it to Heart Home City, you're not going to be able to secure that super effective move. So Umbreon is absolutely stuck, but we do get a nice pivot into Flame. Our Flareon here, however, the Shadow Ball does massive damage. We go for the Sand Attack. We're going for the Cheese, and now we are pivoting back into Umbra to potentially dodge the Shadow Ball or tank the Psybeam if Miss Magius is going for that. So we are just raining down Sand Attacks. We are really trying to milk this, so it has to go for Magical Leaf. If we drop Miss Magius's accuracy low enough, it has to go for Magical Leaf, and that means Leaves and Flame are in a much better spot. So either that or it rolls a -6 accuracy Shadow Ball, and the chance of that hitting is not high at all. So we are in really good position as we are either going to tank a Magical Leaf or go for the Shadow Ball roll, and the Citrus Berry is here. We just got to keep raining down Razor Leaves. Miss Magius goes down. We do secure the 3rd gym badge, but we lose Jolteon. After beating Fantina, the 3rd gym leader here, we run into Barry, and he's ready to fight with his 4 Pokemon. It is a 4v4. Staravia comes down, and we have a nice stab water gun lined up, but the evasion strats are here. 2 double teams come down. Vapor sees through it, though, hits Staravia at about half. And the Withdraw is here. Grotle comes out, the starter, and now we're going to pivot into our fire typing, and this is where you see the Eeveelutions really coming out to play as they can cover each other's weaknesses, which is fantastic. The only problem being if the coverage of that weakness gets hurt, so say they have a bunch of ice-type Pokemon and your Flareon gets hurt, you no longer have that answer, and now you're going to have to use Pokemon that are potentially weak to ice. So it really does put a lot of pressure on the counters depending on who you're fighting and what type you're going up against, which is incredibly interesting. So it's kind of like the opposite of a Monolock. As the Ponyta goes down the Staravia, comes back out and is ready for more. The water gun is here, and we finish this fight just as it began. That brings us to the 4th gym battle here in this run against Maylene and her fighting type Pokemon. We are going to open up with the Umbreon into the Meditite here, and we have a bunch of Sand Attacks, and you're going to see what the strat is going to be. The only Eeveelution that has access to setting up moves in this game right here, right now, is going to be the Leafeon with Swords Dance. Now, Espeon can learn Calm Mind, but we cannot get Calm Mind until after the Elite Four. So that really narrows down what we want to do as our strategy. So we either set up with Leafeon. It can get really risky since Grass has a lot of weaknesses, a lot of common weaknesses, or you're going to have to wiggle around and find another way through the fight. As the Lucario comes down, the Drain Punch is here. The Rock Smash at +6 is way more than enough, and Lucario is gone. That only leaves the Machoke here, and we can just fade away with the Razor Leaf. On top of that, Leafeon has access to Synthesis, which is one of the only healing moves we have in this run as well. So Leafeon could essentially be the key. Maylene's defeated. Alrighty, that will do it for this video. Let's see in the next one if this 3rd attempt can be the one. As always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.